Hi everybody, Russell here from VectorVest. Let's get right into this week's video here. But before I do so, you'll see the MTI, it's coming back up again. So we're getting very close, end of last week, to a confirmed down. Remember, one of the key ingredients for a confirmed down call there is that we need MTI to go below 1. It went just on 1, but it's pulling back up again. So we'll watch with interest the market. The underlying trend of the market is up still. Okay, let's hop into viewers here, and where I want to go here is I want to go to stock viewer. So go to stock viewer, and here's an interesting exercise. I'll show you the biggest companies in Australia. To do so, I'll scroll across over here, and I'll go and click on market capitalization in millions. If I click there, you can see market capitalization in millions in descending order. If I scroll back here to where it notes market capitalization, you see the triangle pointing down in descending order. And look who's right up at the top of the list, CSL, and that's who we're going to talk about today, CSL, the biggest company in Australia currently. So what I'm going to do here is, you can see here, you can graph selected. So I'll graph CSL, and where it notes stock on the drop down here, I'm going to change this to reading performance, right? So I'm going to do a performance graph here. So here's CSL, you'll see here's a healthcare, pharmaceutical, biotechnology, and life sciences. It effectively is a lot of the index, isn't it? It's very well correlated. But let's take that off for now. And I just want to benchmark CSL against all of the other big companies currently in Australia. Right, so number 2 on the list for market capitalization, CBA, followed by BHP, then Westpac Bank. And I'm going to put in NAB. And we've got Wesfarmers, FMG, Woolworths, Macquarie, and TCL, Transurban. Okay, don't forget to put in the .ax when you load these up. So you put in all the symbols .ax, I put comma to separate, and then I pressed enter. And I'll change the style here so it jumps out over here. I'll just make this stand out a bit more. Right, let's put the other ones on. So CBA, BHP, Westpac. Okay, so I'll put all these other ones on here. All right, so you look at this and you say, well, look at that FMG. It's outperformed over the last year. Okay, so Fortescue Metals had a great year. But look at this. Let's go back a wee bit in time. I'll go right back 13 odd years. And there you go. So isn't that interesting? CSL, the star performer, along with Fortescue Metals. All right, so I'll take the date line off here just so you can see there. All right, but I think it's fair to say that CSL certainly had a much smoother ride, hasn't it? And there you are. So CSL and Fortescue Metals, your top performers over the last 13 years and 8 months in terms of the big companies currently now in Australia. All right, let's close out of here just to set the scene. Let's go and investigate further into CSL. Let's select CSL. Let's graph CSL. And you'll see here the layout. I've just got it on a basic layout, right? So a VectorVest simple layout here. And first thing first, I'll take off the stop and relative timing. And I'll clean this up here for now. Just take off all of these indicators for now. Just keep it nice and simple. And let's just have a look here. So you can see the earnings. Now, this is what I've been pointing out there in the essay. The earnings are currently under pressure. We can see the share price is currently being under pressure. All right, so those drop in plasma sort of donations, is that hurting CSL? That's certainly what seems to be the case. Now, let me just show you a bit of the research that we did. So I'll bring this across here, a couple of websites I've got open here. So you can see, look at this, interesting. Recovered from COVID-19, we'll screen you for the antibody donate plasma today. Right, CSL plasma, right, big demand. Get up to $400 US, that's in the US. All right, enter zip code. So we'll search by state, for example, here. So you can see across all the major states there, Texas being the main one there. You look there across Texas, you'll see plenty of sites there, over 20 there in Texas. Okay, so that was interesting. CSL, blood donations flowing, halts clinical trials to focus on COVID-19. Right, so it keeps blood donations flowing. Big emphasis there on COVID-19. So interesting here. ASX listed biotech CSL is trying to prevent a further drop in blood plasma donations caused by coronavirus pandemic, which risks disruption production of its medical therapies while putting some clinical trials on hold to shift its focus on treating COVID-19. All right, so there we are. That was back in April, for example. Let's have a look at another one here. CSL turns to social media influencers to encourage blood plasma donors. CSL will engage social media influencers to encourage plasma donors back into the US collection centers after biotech giant managed to book $2 billion profit against a tough backdrop of coronavirus shutdowns. Okay, so your social media influencers, these are people on channels like YouTube and Twitter and the likes. And in some cases, they've got tens of millions of followers. So if they say something, their followers listen. All right. So interesting. CSL entering into the social media sphere of influence to drive up its call to action for donations. And the last one I've got here: CSL's blood payments in US under the microscope. CSL has been forced to defend the way it runs its blood plasma collection business in the US amid concerns the company will face increased scrutiny over how it handles health and welfare of blood donors. All right, so you can see quite a lot of activity, quite a bit of scrutiny coming behind this whole plasma collection. It's incredibly important. You can see just on the news items alone. Okay, and that's where a lot of analysts are saying that's what's causing some of that decline. Now, if I pull this back just a wee bit over here, so let's go back 6 years. Look how the earnings have been tracking up over the last 6 years. Sure, there's been little setbacks here or there, but up it goes again. If I pull it back all the way here, 13 years and 8 months, the earnings over that long period of time, it's been one of our best earning profile companies there on the ASX. And as of time recording, it is our most valuable company in Australia. All right, so I'm going to bring it back to being 1 year here. So at the moment, we're seeing the earnings declining. Now, what I want to do here is I want to also keep an eye on the technicals. I think it's fair to say if you look closely here, if I draw on a freehand line here, let's just select this freehand line. There we are. And I'll see over here, you can see, look at that. You can see the technicals have been dropping for quite some time. So not only from an earnings perspective, but you're also seeing the technicals on average falling away. You can see it sort of here taking place. If I pull this out a bit more over here, just to zoom it in a bit more, you can see it quite clearly that the momentum has started to slow down. Yeah, sure, a little bit up here and there, but the general trend is it's been down. So I want to see a bit of a turnaround there in the technicals. I want to start seeing a turnaround in the earnings. Now look closely over here. This is interesting. Sure, I can see a decline in the earnings, but if you look very closely here, look at that, just starting to come back up. So I'm going to keep my eye closely on this. Is this the turning point? Is this giving us some light into the fact that maybe plasma collection have started to pick up again? I don't know. I can't confirm that, but time will tell. The next thing I want to look at here is sales. So our parameter, sales market capitalization. Click on yearly sales in millions, and let's have a look. So bring in the sales here, right click, make it an area graph, bring that back a bit. All right, so I'll bring it back a little bit in time over here. Well, I can certainly see sales are holding up for now. Back in April, I was able to find this. Right, so this is the Fin Review. CSL expecting lumpy 2021 plasma donation uncertainty. Blood products company CSL is expecting a lumpy 2021. The chief executive, Paul Perrault, as you pronounce it, saying it has 6 months supply of plasma stored up, but flagging that donations have started to drop off. Now this was back in April, so quite a bit has changed since then. All right, but we know that they had at least 6 months up their sleeve, which takes us effectively to now. Okay, and was some of that supply being eaten into? Is that why we're seeing this? All right, so we're starting to piece the puzzle pieces together. The key takeaway here is I cannot give you exact insight, because I've got to wait for announcements to come out to confirm all that, but I can see what's in front of me. I can see the technicals fell off a bit. I can see the earnings were under pressure. I can see they've just started to turn around, but I can see sales were holding steady. The last piece of information here, I want to click on Add Parameter VectorVest Fields, and I want to put in the net profit margin, NPM. Let's put this in over here, and this is where it gets really interesting. So here we can see earnings were falling, technicals under pressure, sales holding steady, but net profit margin declining somewhat. Right, so you can see net profit margin was around about 36 cents on the dollar. So for every $1 of sales, what was CSL making as profit? A whopping 30 odd percent. You can see now it's down into the 20s, 25 odd percent. So it looks like the margin's down a bit. Sales, though, making up for it. It is picking up a bit on the sales. The sales levels have picked up a bit, probably not quite enough to offset the decline of margin. So from what I'm seeing here, the ingredient to drive those earnings, the margin most likely will need to pick up a bit along with a bit more sales. So there you go. They're the key ingredients I'm looking for: EPS, RT, NPM, and sales. Most likely we'll need to see a bit of NPM lifting up to drive the EPS, which in turn will drive the share price. Time will tell. Okay, until next week, hope you get a lot of value out of this. Bye for now.